Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Lawful Player Society. This is Derek Price, once again, your host. Today we're going to be talking about our second immersion tip, focusing specifically on using music in your game. Now, one of the things I was most hesitant about when I first started DMing was using music within my Dungeons & Dragons campaigns and then within any other games I was using. My biggest hesitation was I thought it'd be very distracting, and I didn't want it to distract from myself or the players while we were in the middle of a game. However, as I got a little bit more comfortable DMing, one of the things I realized is music kind of fills that gap of the noise going on around you. So yes, of course, the DM will either be speaking during the game or one of the player characters. However, in those silences, those brief pauses, there's nothing else really going around you in the game, so music kind of helps fill that white noise and that space. It can also kind of set a tone. So if I'm describing a scene in a bar, for example, or a tavern, it's easy for me to say, yes, there's music playing on in the background, and then I'll go describe something else, but the players don't really feel like they're actually there. Yes, I said there's music going on in the background, but they don't hear it. They have to either imagine it. That could be hard if you're paying attention to other things. So having music kind of queued up that are more tavern and bar themed can actually help your players feel like they're in the bar, actually. And yes, there's all these things going on that the DM is describing, but I can still hear that music playing in the background, and I still know that I'm in this tavern. Music kind of helps enhance the setting. It sets the tone, and movies do this all the time. When there's an epic moment, they play this music that's really overbearing, and you can hear it, and it crescendos, and it builds up, and it builds anticipation within you. And music within your game can do the exact same thing. It kind of helps bring everything together and tie the words and the feelings of your player characters and yourself into one actual tangible thing that's surrounding your entire campaign and your entire session. One of the unique things that you can do with music is you can help it cue an NPC or a location. So if you have a location or an NPC that your characters are interacting on a daily basis, session by session basis, or that they're recurring, they don't happen every session, but they're pretty common. You can actually cue music that will help your characters remember, okay, I know this music goes with this setting in the forest, or this NPC who's a villain. So when this music is playing, either we're coming up upon this villain, or we're traveling to this forest or traveling within it. So it kind of helps keep your player characters grounded, and it helps them know what's going on, because even if you don't describe, you're within this such and such forest in the middle of the elven territory, if you're playing that music and you've done it before for this specific space, your player characters will know, okay, I'm here, this is what I should expect from this environment. And one of the unique things you can do with NPCs, and what I have done, is you can play the music that you have queued for a certain NPC, and your players know that. But if they're not present, you haven't described them there, it builds a sense of anticipation. Okay, where is he? When is he coming out? Is the DM messing with me? And it's one of those ways that you can get your characters and your players to kind of, take a step back and evaluate and become cautious. So music has this wonderful thing where you can use it to help enhance the tone, or you can use it to help describe your NPCs and environments, and describe where your characters are at, who they're interacting with, without even using words. If you pair up this music with an NPC constantly, I don't have to re-describe that this NPC is here or approaching if I'm playing this music, because my player characters already know. Two words of warning, though, with using music, things that I have noticed in my campaigns. You might want to steer clear of popular music, and when I'm saying popular music, I don't mean like Katy Perry or Taylor Swift. If you want to use those in your games, I don't know how you would, but good for you. I'm talking about like Lord of the Rings music and soundtracks. Everybody knows that soundtrack where Gandalf is on the bridge fighting off this demon. He says, "You shall not pass," and it's a very epic moment, and the music is fitting for that. However, one of the problems You use that soundtrack, while it is very epic, and it's great for the fantasy genre, and it worked really well in Lord of the Rings. If you're using it within your own campaign to describe an epic moment, your player characters, especially if they've seen the movie, are going to be transported to that movie and to that moment. That's what they're going to be thinking about. So if you use that epic song within Lord of the Rings, if you're fighting on a ship within your own campaign, your players are kind of going to have this cognitive dissonance where their mind's going to be in two different places. They know their player characters are on the ship fighting off whatever baddies and monsters you've thrown at them, but they know this music has been used before, and they're seeing this image of Gandalf on this bridge fighting a demon. So just make sure that if you're using popular music before that's been used in movies, that it's not going to detract from the scene you're trying to build. And it's something that I caution you with. I tend to steer clear of music that's been used in movies, especially popular movies like The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, for that reason specifically. And then secondly, music can be distracting. I know some of my players have learning disabilities, and they find it hard to concentrate to begin with. So throwing in this extra element of music can be difficult for them to cope with. I know when I first started as a GM as well, and when I first started incorporating music, it was kind of hard for me to think on the fly, because when I had to go and try to concentrate and think on the fly, I had this music kind of pushing at me from the background and kind of detracted from it. So it might be something you need to get used to, or it might be something that you don't use at all. If you don't use music, it's not like your game won't be immersive. It's just one of the ways you can have your game be more immersive, but I totally understand if music is distracting to you, and sometimes it does take practice. And if you're looking for practice as a DM or either a player, as a DM, I would suggest writing your notes for the session with music playing in the background. It kind of helps you get into that idea of, okay, I need to be able to think while music is playing at the same time. If you're a player character and your DM likes to use music and it kind of distracts you, maybe draw up another player, draw up another character, and stat another character while you're listening to music in the background. Maybe just do some household activities and chores while there's music going on in the background. It kind of helps you get used to the whole fact that there's going to be other things going on and you need to pay attention to certain things. So just expose yourself prior before you do it live in a game, because it might detract from your game a little bit. It might make it hard to concentrate. Now, if you are looking for good soundtracks for immersive gameplay, I would suggest Two Steps from Hell. They're a great music organization. They put together some really great tracks, and some of their music has been used for movies and other videos and TV shows. However, a lot of their soundtracks haven't been used for very popular soundtracks and TV shows, so it makes it easier to incorporate their music into games, because while their music is very epic, and they have music for pretty much anything, they have music that's extremely over the top and clearly meant for fight scenes, but then they have more relaxed, almost angelic music that can be used for a variety of different things. So if you're looking for a good music group to kind of incorporate into your game, Two Steps from Hell would be my recommendation. So that was our second tip on our immersive gameplay. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you have any comments or any suggestions, please comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks, guys, and happy gaming.